Thank you for joining me for another episode of No Silly Questions. This one, I've got a tarot study method for you. And this one's particularly great because we're using the images to learn the meanings. So if you struggle with any kind of text-based learning, this might be for you. So step one is grab your tarot deck. Then I want you to observe an image. Now this can be any card you want. You can pull a random one or start from number 0. It's entirely up to you. So take that tarot card and spend at least 30 seconds looking at it. What are some of the things that jump out to you? And again, we're just looking at the imagery here. Try to have a look if there's any symbols jumping out at you. Is there a cup? Is there a crown? But also, what are the people doing? Are they walking? Are they celebrating? Are they fighting? Let's take the example of the Fool. So here we've got a young person standing on a cliff. They look relatively carefree, almost as if they're about to take a step off of that cliff. We can also see that there's a dog jumping up next to him. The sun is also shining, and we can see that they're carrying a small bag. And step 2 is I want you to create a short story for what it is you're seeing. So instead of memorizing that meaning, we're going to now create a story that we can emotionally connect with. So what do you think is going to happen after this image? What is that person going to be doing? Also, what's important is what happened before the image. What were they doing before that very moment? And how does the card's story feel? What is those emotions behind that? Now remember to keep this short and brief because it will help when taking in that information. For this example, we're going to stay with the Fool. And what is the Fool's story? Well, a young traveller is setting out on an adventure, and they don't seem too worried about being at the edge of the cliff because they trust. Now, their little dog might be either warning them or cheering them on. It depends about those emotions that you're connecting with. And they have no heavy baggage with them, just a small bag with the essentials in. So what does that story teach you? Well, the Fool represents a new beginning, trust, adventure, and a leap of faith. Now I want you to connect to it emotionally. How does this card make you feel? Is it a happy or a scary card? And what would you want to be in this situation? How do you want to feel? And for this example, we're going to stick with the tower. Now, the image shows a tower being struck by lightning. It's pretty chaotic. There's people falling and there's a lot of fire, and it can look quite shocking, quite intense. So emotionally, that tower might make you feel quite scared, intimidated. Maybe it's a sense of fear or a sense of urgency. And this can connect back to its meaning of a sudden change or upheaval. So why does this learning method work? Well, there's no memorization, so you connect in a natural way with the cards. It's also visual based, so that's great for people with dyslexia or with other learning difficulties. And it can also build intuition, and it gets you to trust your own interpretation of the cards. So take this study method and move through the cards however you wish. I really hope that you found this method useful, and hopefully you can apply it to your practices in the future. But make sure to give yourself time. Move through the cards as slow or as fast as you want, and spend as much time with each card as you feel is necessary. So thanks for joining me here today. I'd love to know what you think down in the comments. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you in the next one.